Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Sensei Pink and I'm coming back to you guys for my review on Lore Olympus episode 147. Now before we get into it guys, I would just like to thank you guys for just being so supportive because recently my grandfather did pass away. He did pass away at the age of 92, but he lived a long healthy life and I'm just so grateful to have had him for as long as I have, and I appreciate you guys and your patience in waiting for me to get back into it. So thank you guys so much for all the comments and support. Aside from all of your love, please make sure that you go follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and hit that subscribe and notification button to see more weekly videos. Now guys, kicking off this episode, Artemis interrupts Eros and Apollo and she's just like, Eros, back off. And although like Apollo mistakes, I guess, her anger for like her wanting to go against Eros, she's just like, no. I'm here to yell at you. Now seeing this as their cue to go, Eros and Ampelus leave, but not before Eros puts an arrow through Apollo's arrow, stating that he's competitive and basically he had to show him up. After those two skedaddle, Artemis is coming out with the questions, wondering and asking Apollo what did he do to her friend. Apollo trying to act all dumbfounded, he's just like, what do you mean? Take a breath. And Artemis just begins telling him like she had a conversation with Persephone and she told Artemis that Persephone said that she does not want to be around Apollo. Apollo makes her miserable and begs for Apollo to explain. Apollo tries to put on his goody. He's just like, clearly there's a misunderstanding here. But Artemis is just like, Persephone ran away from home because she can't stand you. And that doesn't sound like a misunderstanding. Artemis then begins breaking down a little bit and begins crying. And she's just like, I need one goddamn being in this place to be straight with me. And as she's saying this, we get the introduction of her and Apollo's mother, Leto, walking in, and she's just like, Artemis. Now, as she's walking in and I guess she says Artemis, we jump to Eros in the background, who begins explaining to Ampelus who Leto is. He explains that Leto is, was Olympus's #1 social pariah. She's a titaness, and that there is major bad blood between Leto and Hera after a falling out some time ago. After their falling out, Hera put her into complete social exile and she hasn't been seen for decades. Now cutting back over to Leto and her kids, she begins saying that she's disappointed in Artemis for letting her emotions show on display real publicly. It then appears that she begins like using her powers, I don't know, maybe to like scare Artemis. She then tells her to calmly explain the situation and Apollo jumps in and tries to be the goody and he's just like, some manipulation must have taken place because basically Apollo tries to hit Artemis with this excuse that him and Percy had some attraction, you know, between them when he first saw her. They were close and he thought everything was fine, aka like I guess he's trying to imply that she invited him into her bedroom, and now she's making up all of these terrible rumors about him because he can only assume that she doesn't want to lose her scholarship. Now jumping in the middle of this, their mom just like puts her hands on Artemis's shoulder and she's just like, Artemis, like, who do you believe? Some goddess you just met or your family? And this just causes Artemis to break down and she suddenly just disappears. Now with it just being Apollo and his mom, Apollo's just like, Mom, she seems really upset, but his mom's just like, you know, she'll eventually come around. Now speaking about coming around, Leto then begins to ask Apollo about her future daughter-in-law. Apollo then tells her like nothing he's doing is working and that she just keeps being angry with him. She's spending all of her time in the underworld with Hades. And he tried talking to Hera, but Hera was of no help. Now taking this all in, his mom is just like, I see. And we then end this episode off with Leto deciding that maybe she should take a little trip to the underworld. Now guys, throw the whole family away. Throw the whole family away, except Artemis. Throw them all away. Because I'm just still surprised that Apollo just has not died yet. Like, no one has stabbed this man. We already know that this man is plotting. But now I see where the plotting is coming from. It's coming from this Leto lying bitch. Alright, because thinking about the story that, you know, Eros told on her background, I already could tell the falling out was, you know what? Let me get into my predictions right now. So for my first prediction, I already feel and predict it's just going to be just like the regular story where Leto sleeps with Zeus and that's how she had them. Now, I feel like maybe in this story, Leto, she wanted power. So, which is why she was friends with Hera, and her and Hera do look alike. So I can only assume that, you know, maybe this, in that instance, Zeus wasn't trying to cheat, but maybe she got that man so drunk that he thought that she was Hera, knocked her up with twins, and that was going to be her way of like gaining power or something like that, you know, over Zeus. And that's exactly why they had the falling out. Thinking back, I think the episode where we got to meet her and she's talking to Hecate about, you know, who would want to take power from Zeus, and we go to fucking Apollo. It's definitely got to be Apollo. I mean, we didn't get Apollo's father. That definitely has to be his dad. Him and Zeus are purple, okay? Purple's like the bad, evil color in this. They're all purple, okay? So, I mean, we already know that Ares and, you know, his other brother are not basically planning to, like, take power from their dad. But I definitely think that Apollo is power hungry. And his mom is too. His mom is too. I think that Artemis is just the only one who's just, like, sort of out of this evil loop. And I feel good and bad about it because I can't wait for her to basically expose her family and be on the winning side and see them all go down except her. For my second and last prediction today, I think that when Leto maybe does make her way to the underworld, she is going to basically try and be like a secret informant and catch Percy maybe when she's not around Hades, something. Basically try and get that news over to Zeus so that someone can catch those two when they're lacking and basically swoop Persephone up and take her. But I think that most of all, she wants the person who catches Persephone to definitely be her son, so that when, let's say, Apollo captures Persephone and takes her to Zeus for punishment, she'll be like, that'll maybe like be his reward, being able to marry Persephone. Something in that nature. So I definitely see something like that coming in the mix. Well guys, that's it for today. Let me know, what do you guys think about all of this shit in the comments below. Go follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and smash that like button if you enjoyed watching. And finally guys, hit that subscribe and notification button to see more of me, Sensei Pink.